Hey y'all, it's the coronavirus, and I want to welcome you all to what we call the Homies Podcast. Enjoy it, fuckers.
Homies, homies, talk about what dogs are about. Motherfucking homies, homies, talk about homies, homies, talk about what dogs are about. Homies, man, that's my God.
Hey y'all, it's Mr. Hatch.
And this is Salty McDicktits, but you may know me better as Saturated Fat. And we are going to jump into our Juggle What section, which The Gathering is canceled. Hatch, what do you have to...
What?
You know, I think I called this out on episode 3 or 4. I pretty much said The Gathering wasn't going to happen. And you know what? ICP got a lot of credit for it. I mean, they gave away shirts to fucking nurses or somebody to fucking cut them to make fucking masks and shit. You know, they got a lot of publicity and thanks for literally doing the right thing, which is canceling this shit. You know, and yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there hating or whatever, saying like juggalos can do this shit, but come on. You know juggalos can't stay 6 feet away from each other and wash their hands. Juggalos don't do that shit now.
I have to agree.
I mean, if you went to the Gathering, everybody knows about the plague. Everyone gets dead fucking sick after the Gathering.
Oh, it's disgusting.
So that we missed a couple of weeks. It was nothing between me and Saturated. It was just sometimes we just got busy with real life situations. But we're back and we're live. And now we're going to bring up the next topic is MNE released some fresh, so I guess surprise material. No one really knew Mad Season was coming out. And they released it with a physical copy, which you couldn't get right away, and you couldn't get it digitally until Friday. So I don't know why they even said they released it on a Tuesday. But, well, how do you feel about this one, Saturated?
I think it's a nice surprise considering everything that's going around. You know, it's nice to get that surprise new material.
Wasn't
I liked it
that people have been crying about?
You know, let me say something about the Dark Lows people are crying about. Let it rest in peace. And I say that, don't bring Lotus back because you know it's just going to be half-assed if they do. The last album was by far the worst, which I'm not saying any of them are bad, but you know, it doesn't really stick out. That's not your go-to Lotus album. And you could tell there was just like, you know, it's just not what it was. So let that be.
The only thing about the last Lotus album, if you don't mind me bringing it up, is I like the fact that they had a feature with ABK on it.
Oh, me too.
Like, I thought that was dope. Like, maybe bygones can be bygone.
Maybe. But I mean, I don't think it's going to be what it was. That's all.
Oh, hell no. It can't be what it was. It was dope before. But it's like, people try too hard to get something.
Right.
And now it's here, and it's not the same. You know, as much as people say, like, oh, I love, you know, Psychopathic Riders, but do you love Psychopathic Riders without it being psychopathic? You know, because there's a new Riders album. It's just not the same when you guys don't all have the same goal. You know, if you really think about it, a lot of people say, well, ICP was so much fresher back in the, you know, the early 90s or the mid 90s or even the late 90s. And now they're stale compared to then. Well, you know what? The hunger's not there anymore. If you really think about it, fucking Joe and Joey are fucking millionaires that aren't starving, and they don't have to worry about ever making another album again. And they just do it, and they think themselves as fresh, but it's not as original, you know, because they don't have to starve to try to get our ticket sales. Like, if
right,
they fuck up
I
on
agree.
a concept, it's like, oh, that was a flop, you know. Some people look at, like, you know, them signing what's his name, Light, and Light having that child endangerment case, you know, as that's fucked up because they have the whole thing about Catch a Predator. You know, it's like those types of things. Like, sometimes they make bad business decisions, sometimes they make good business decisions. At the end of the day, who are we to judge? You know, what's going on? Like, I don't know what Jay and Joe are gonna do. But I can tell you, out of being fresh or whatnot, sometimes their music's dead on, and sometimes their music's the marvelous missing link. So, as much as I want to say like their shit's amazing, their shit's sometimes horrible too. But it's because like it's not just ICP. It's same thing with TWiztid. They don't have the hunger and the drive that they used to have. They might pretend it, and they might want to release a music video that they did back in Most Tasteless, which I'm so fucking annoyed about, by the way. But we'll talk about that later. Have you actually seen that since we're actually on this Juggabutt topic?
Which one?
So I believe it was Secondhand Smoke they re-released.
Oh, that was like almost a year ago, right?
It was something, maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
They said, oh, we're going to release a music video that was a Psychopathic Records album, and then they're going to say, oh, we released it, and then they try to make themselves look, like they would have looked like back in late 1999. But you know what, guys? You guys would have definitely worn Psychopathic and shown Psychopathic love. And that annoyed me that, like, I get it. You're an MNE label, but you still show Psychopathic love. At least, like, in the beginning, maybe the first hoodie you guys wore had a little Hatchet Man logo on it, and then the rest of them say MNE or whatever. But come on. To me, that was a little dirty.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's going to be somebody out there in Twitter world that's going to say, well, technically, that was a House of Crazy song that didn't have Brian on it, and they switched it over, and they sent it to Psychopathic. Well, fuck you, because you know what? It was originally released officially to the world as TWiztid on Most Tasteless. But who am I? I think also, well, we never really got into the TWiztid album, did we?
No.
I went on a fucking tangent on fucking a release date, right? And then we went to Dark Lotus somehow.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was me. I totally got sidetracked when you said that.
All right, so we're gonna go back to TWiztid. What do you think about Mad Season?
It's okay. I mean, I'm not rating it as a classic album. It's, you know what? They put it out. It has a couple good songs. It has some songs that I don't care for. You know what? I wish
the video was dope. I don't even care.
No,
like,
I wish
I don't like them at times, and like I don't even care for that song. But that music video, and knowing that it was done on cell phones, makes it even more fresh. Like those are true blacks that they got in that shit.
Huh.
If you didn't know that, I might have just told you some information.
I did not know that. I wish it was a $10 CD. You know what I mean? Like, why was it 15?
I wish it was free. Like, listen. Listen. I'm not a socialist by any means. I'm not an extreme Republican, as some people are, and I'm not an extreme Democrat. I do believe people need help, and they should get help when it's necessary. But here, listen to me out. I ain't paying fucking money to watch you do your gay fucking music live on a fucking webcam. And I don't think as an artist it's a smart move to charge your fans that probably lost their job and can't afford to live $15 fucking just to listen to your CD. Like, that's fucked up. And it's fucked up if an artist is holding music and won't release it because of this. It's like,
well, I mean,
don't tell me you're here for the fans, and then fucking 2 minutes later be like, whoa, we need $15.
Okay, but how many people like us just watched it on YouTube or streamed it on whatever people stream on? You know what I mean? Like, because they don't really release anymore. Hey, how many physical copies did you sell? You know, they might say, I don't know, 812. You know, because I mean, how many people now are just kind of, you know, I watch stuff on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. If I really like what I'm hearing, I will always buy the CD. I will openly admit that. If I love it, I'm buying the CD.
You're a better man than me. No, what was the last thing I did buy JoJo Siwa. I'm not even gonna lie, but that was more of my wife's decision. But before that, the last thing I bought was the ICP's last album. And I bought that out of choice. I could have just downloaded it and just owned it.
Yeah.
But I feel, and listen, some people might not agree with me, but I feel that the last album that ICP did was decent. And it was good. I won't even lie. It was good. Some people might not feel the same. But I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's a good album.
What else is there? Tech9 had a new album, Enter Fear. Did you get a chance to listen to it?
No, I am really not a Tech9 fan.
Then we will not discuss it.
Which usually comes to shock to people. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really care about Tech9. He doesn't really do it for me. Sorry.
Don't apologize to me. My wife is really big into Tech9 and follows him a lot more. But she really listens to him, like in the car. So, I don't know. It's whatever she wants when we're in the car together.
Well,
I listen to Howard Stern a lot, so I can't really...
It depends who's driving, because I've had this argument with plenty of people. The driver always gets choice of the radio and what's being played.
You, sir, are not married.
That's right.
Let's see what else is going on. The other thing I also want to bring up, yes, it's Corona, but, this is supposed to be a weekly show. Sometimes if there's not much news going on, it's hard for us to come up with a weekly show.
Right, plus our schedules, I mean, I was working like 12-hour days for the longest time, and it's like, I'm going in 2 a.m. and then getting out at 2, and it kind of sucks, or, one person's out, I have to stay late till like 5 o'clock, so it's...
Yeah.
And I understand your job, they can just pull you to do a double whenever.
Yeah, I get fucked if somebody calls out.
Right.
It sucks. I won't even lie. That shit sucks being fucking... I'm always fucked. But it is what it is, I'm not gonna lie. I signed up for it, knew what my job is. Oh shit, I was pressing the wrong button. I want to talk... I was babbling on, and I was like, oh shit, I'm pressing the wrong button. Basically, I want to talk to you guys for the next thing is we're going to finish the madness bracket, and it's going to be ICP versus TWiztid. Now, on a previous episode, I believe I destroyed TWiztid very much, pretty bad, in an argument about why a psychopathic was better. And, without rehashing all the details, basically what I want to say when you're talking about ICP and you're talking about TWiztid, no matter what, unless you're Isham, that no one usually that you trained and taught how to be wicked, and I'm not saying they taught TWiztid, like TWiztid had House of Crazy background, but what I'm trying to say is like they took TWiztid from fucking Detroit fandom to the global fandom or whatever the fuck they are, and whatever they're considered now. That's all I'm saying. And as much as TWiztid tries like to space themselves, ask yourself this: every fucking tour, every fucking time they do something live, now they change their face paint, but when they're on fucking tour, don't they keep it back to the simple white face, black eyes? And it's not because of anything other than if you keep your face the same, the people that kind of remember you are going to be like, oh yeah, I remember that group, and they're probably going to go see you. And if you look like crazy lunatics or whatever, people are probably going to more venture away. So the only reason I'm saying that ICP is better than TWiztid has nothing to do with the musically or lyrically. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, TWiztid always tries to follow the legacy that they've had with ICP when they try to represent themselves to the masses instead of doing something like, like, oh, we left ICP, we left Psychopathic. From now on, when you hear TWiztid, it's only MNE stuff. And then I think you would have a better argument saying, well, you know what? TWiztid said fuck Psychopathic. They don't do anything Psychopathic. But TWiztid constantly is releasing things that they've done on Psychopathic, like all the time. So, that at least that's how I feel. And that's why I think ICP.
I mean, I personally wish that TWiztid would drop the face paint, keep doing the other shit you're doing, and stay away from, Psychopathic. Kind of prove to yourself that, hey, we can keep going and keep a fan base, gain a fan base. I mean, I know they did the Warped Tour. It's not a tour I'd really want to go to or anything, but, I think that's good. They're broadening... Damn it, I don't even know how to say it. Damn it! Broadening their horizon. Just pretend I said it good. Stuff like that, I think TWiztid needs to do. Just be like, I understand, you don't want to say fuck all your fans and get everyone pissed, but you know what? Just keep going in the direction you want to. Do more rock and metal stuff. I'd say go for it.
I mean, they've already said fuck their fans. They've been on videos saying fuck juggalos. And then
when?
Or 2 weeks. You want to go in this? I got the shit. I will send it on Twitter. You guys will see it on Twitter. It's going to be Mr. Hatch proves Saturated wrong that Monoxide has straight out said fuck juggalos. Straight out.
Good for him.
And then you'll hear him and Madrox beg for the juggalos and claim juggalos again. It was right in the beginning of the early MNE day. I will find that shit and it'll be on there.
I must have fell off at one point or something.
Why do you think Juggalo Dave, had such a hatred for TWiztid?
I thought it was because of that Fago Lovers interview. Because, I gave him, original most tasteless, blacklight posters and freak show shit. And then, I don't know, a couple weeks later, he's like, oh, I burned all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay.
He actually burnt it?
Yeah, because he was like, he's totally into it.
Going hardcore on that shit. Be like, man, fuck TWiztid, and get him going. On the fence.
He was like, I kept buying him, or not buying him stuff, but just giving him old shit that I had, And then he just went and burned it all. I'm like, damn, because I had a few shirts and old posters that I'll never use.
Right. So how do you view it as the winner?
I feel we could go into a lot more things, but I guess from personal and probably what everyone else is thinking, I'll have to give ICP the win. But TWiztid is a great number 2, even though they say they're second to no one. They make a great number 2, and I don't mean shit, but I mean, they did have that Super Bowl commercial. That was awesome. I mean, who wouldn't want to be on a Super Bowl commercial? Or maybe not on it, but hearing their music or whatever.
All right.
I'll be honest, until Juggalos posted it, I had no idea it was TWiztid because that was one of those songs when I hear something like that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn that off. So it never even registered until way after when they're like, oh, TWiztid was a Super Bowl commercial. Because I did watch it, and it was just I don't know. I think it's I hate those choruses that are like that, but I always just turn the song. So right. I didn't even realize it.
So y'all fucking failed to get the 100 views to get the free merch, but don't worry, we're gonna try again. Not this episode, but the next episode. We reach 100 views, You're gonna leave your comment on Twitter. You're gonna comment us on Twitter. You're gonna say, I was one of the 100. I don't give a fuck. But we're gonna post it also on Twitter when it's at the 100 mark. Then you guys would have 48 hours to post on our Twitter that you were one of the 100. And then somehow, computer generated fucking dice rolling, we'll figure out, we'll number whoever, and then we'll message you and send you something from Saturated Fats' stash.
Yes. It's all been stashed away in a closet for quite some time. So it could be something quite old. But I mean, it's something nice. It's something people would enjoy. I'm not giving them like an old candy bar or anything.
It better not be a Bing Bao Boom sampler.
No. God, no.
I saw somebody trying to sell that the other day for like $600 on Facebook.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm like,
I don't know, like,
you used to go to FYE and they would just be like cases of them.
Yeah, like, I don't even know if I have one anymore because I just don't care.
So I think we're hitting towards the end of our show. I think we hit on all the major topics. So I just want to bring up on next week's episode, it's probably going to be more of a weekend episode on a Saturday.
Okay.
It's going to be, I believe, a much longer episode than what you guys are accustomed to, like the 30-minute episode that we have now, because it's a brand new fucking bracket. And the question is, how do you want to do the bracket, Saturated?
I like the way we've done it, but I'm open to any new ideas.
Well, first of all, if we're gonna do underground groups, we're gonna kick ICP and TWiztid off.
Correct.
So we don't have to worry about them any guaranteed wins. Like, you're not gonna go up and be like, oh, ICP's here, they're gonna win.
And I think we all knew who it was going to be anyways. The one I was very shocked with, though, in the first episode, was when Dark Lotus got defeated. I was actually in shock.
Right? And it might have been just bad placement, but we did what? Was it 32 on this bracket?
Yeah.
So I want to say the next one, maybe we should up it to 64.
Okay, so we're gonna do like other underground artists like Q Strange, Irate, Kung Fu Vampire.
I think we should expand in the season. So maybe we'll have Psychopathic, MNE, Strange Music, Sub Noise, and whatever, and we'll try to come up with a very creative thing. But the question is, how do you consider somebody underground? You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
that's
somebody might say ICP or Isham's underground. But
that's a very good question. I would not say ICP is actually underground. I wouldn't say that at all.
So you say once they're charting, they can't be underground?
I didn't say that, but I really don't know, and I think that'd be a great Twitter question to get answers from.
Stonehenge would probably think it's.
I kind of want to. Okay. I like Stonehenge. I want to know what he has to say about that. And the boy Blue.
I want to know what the boy Blue thinks. I got him fucking contradicting himself hardcore today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he was going on and on about the flu vaccine or the COVID vaccine that's not out, how it's killing people and all this shit. And then he's out fucking doing acid. Like, all right, you're mad at the fucking pharmacies and shit for making a vaccine or whatever that could have potential side effects. But fucking acid's made in a lab that you have no fucking control over who fucking made it with no fucking backgrounds. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like, come on. If you're gonna be like a hardcore anti-fucking government, because you can't trust anybody, how you doing fucking acid? How? You can't. So you're a fucking hypocrite. That's what you are. And that's not me being mean. I'm just saying that's what it is by definition. Huh. I don't eat meat, right? The guy goes off and saying how bad and horrible meat is for you. and then you catch him at a fucking Texas Roadhouse. And he's like, well, it's different because it's not, no, fuck you. Maybe that's a bad example, but that's sort of like how he's explaining it. That fucking meat is horrible for you. And you shouldn't get the meat because if you eat meat, there's a chance that maybe it's bad for you. But on the other hand, when no one's looking, I'm going to take meat that I found, in a black market that might be bad for me, and I'm going to ingest it into my body. It's all fucked. Well, I think this concludes our episode today. This is Mr. Hatch signing off and saying fuck off.
And this is Saturated Fat saying goodbye.
Homies Podcast 2. Contact Saturated Fat. Worm W. Contact Mr. Her. Nobody too fresh. 2 as the number 2. Paid for by Saturated Hedge.